Before the heir's wedding, the old lady decided to select one of her personal maids to be promoted to a supervisor. Everyone understood this was essentially preparing a concubine for the heir. To ensure fairness, the decision would be made by drawing lots according to tradition. The first two sisters each drew blank slips. The answer now rested between me and Hongrue. A gust of wind swept by, and the door behind me swung open. Seizing the moment as the door closed, I swapped the paper ball with the character Joy for a pre-prepared blank sheet. Turning around, I displayed a blank sheet just like the previous two sisters, and whispered congratulations to Hongrue. She smiled shyly, revealing a row of neat little white teeth. The old madam's eyes flickered slightly. She dismissed the attendants, leaving me alone to speak with her. Qingluo, are you unwilling? I prostrated myself and kowtowed, replying with sincerity and firmness, Qingluo does not have such good fortune, I only wish to serve. By the old madam's side for my entire life, she watched me quietly for a long while, then slightly raised her hand. Never mind, you may go. In my previous life, I became a victim of the power struggle between her and her grandson. The heir had his heart set on Hongrue, but the old dowager wanted him to take me as a concubine. She had someone tamper with the paper lots, upset the heir's plans, and ruined my life as well. The repeated worthless made still echoes in my ears, laden with endless hatred. Pei Jin, the heir of the Marquis's family, he couldn't choose his wife himself, nor was he allowed to take concubines. My very existence is the greatest mockery of him, the very proof of his impotence. That night, in bed, he tormented me without mercy. Whore, wasn't this something you desperately grabbed for? Why don't you want it now? I tried to explain again and again, but he believed not a single word. Or perhaps he knows it all, yet he can't hate the old mistress, or anyone else. He can only hate me. I was once the most prestigious first-class maidservant serving the elder lady. Later, I became the laughingstock, the sleep-assisting maid. Every time Pei Jin enjoyed himself with any woman other than the heir's consort, I had to stand by the bed, watching and listening, fetch water for them and attend to their baths. In the depths of the grand estate, there was no shortage of people who could sail with the wind. Without the heir's favor, I often found myself lacking in food, clothing, and other daily necessities. When they were in a bad mood, a single bowl of overnight leftover gruel a day was all I got. To my surprise, the crown prince's consort occasionally comes to visit me. She brings some clothes and food. However, the couple doesn't get along well. She either goes back to her parents' home for a short stay or claims illness and goes to the countryside estate to recuperate, rarely staying in the mansion. The following year, I breathed my last in a hopeful march of spring. Grass grew, orioles flew, and all things revived. A chill brought on days of unrelenting fever, with no one noticing. In my final moments of consciousness, Pei Jin came by once. He refused to look at me, only speaking to me from behind the curtain, with his back turned. Remember this feeling. This is the lesson for you. Back in the small courtyard, gifts poured like flowing water into Hongrue's room. Several sisters gathered together, some envious, others disdainful. Suddenly, the crowd fell silent. Prince, you are in good health. Pei Jin arrived. I stood at the back of the crowd, silently bowing. In her previous life, Hongrue cried behind closed doors after being rejected in daily life. The young master treated her the most specially. She made mistakes, he would cover them up. When they went out, he would bring little trinkets to cheer her up. Her sisters all assumed Hongrue would eventually become a concubine, and Pei Jin had also personally promised to give her a proper status. But then, everything changed. Sister Qingluo, don't just stand there, hurry up and express your gratitude. I snapped back to reality. Oh, it turned out that Pei Jin, in a moment of joy, had rewarded all the maids in the courtyard. In a daze, an oppressive gaze fell upon the top of her head. Pei Jin said to Hongrue, you there, don't be so foolish all day long, be a little more cautious, or you won't even know when someone's harmed you. Hongrue replied cheerfully, how could that be? We sisters have the best bond. Pei Jin sneered, is that so? I'm just afraid that some people pretend to be noble on the surface while secretly playing dirty tricks, dreaming day and night of climbing up. His words were too obviously aimed at me, and he was speaking directly in my direction, causing the other sisters to look my way one after another. In my previous life, Just a few days after drawing lots, the old madam released Red Rui's indenture contract and even gave her a sum of silver. It should have been a good thing. But her deceitful ghost parents stole the money and immediately sold their daughter to a wealthy merchant as a concubine. They say the merchant was old enough to be Red Rui's grandfather. On the day Red Rui left the mansion, Pei Jin got thoroughly drunk. The elder lady sent me to look after her. He dragged me and threw me into the pond on a late autumn night. The water was not bitterly cold, but it was far from comfortable. Not wanting to anger him further, I could only tread water in the dark and climb ashore from the other side. Behind me, the cursing continued. He said, "It should be me who serves that old grouch," he said. "I've wronged Hongrue," he said. "Go die." Regaining my composure, Pei Jin, before leaving, deliberately turned around to face me from behind. Lowering his voice, he said, "I won't thank you, you're the one who owes me." He also said, "You should serve me like an ox or a horse, repaying the sins of your past life." I knew he had been reborn too. In the following days, Pei Jin often took Hongrue out of the mansion to go sightseeing. All her shifts fell onto my shoulders. I was so busy every day that my feet barely touched the ground. I also had to spare time to deal with Pei Jin's overt and covert probing. "Are you really willing to give up the position of a concubine? Spit it out. What scheme are you hatching this time? If you're truly still set on it, for the sake of your grandmother, I can take you in as a concubine." Unsuccessful in his, he angrily left. Ever since long ago, Pei Jin has never liked me. I have no idea what offended him, but he can rest assured, my greatest wish in this life is to leave the Marquis's manor as soon as possible and stay far away from him, to live a life that is truly my own. 3 That night, my shift had ended by the end of the 9th hour of the night. Returning to the small courtyard, the only light came from the lantern I was holding. Suddenly, a shadow flickered on the steps. My heart clenched in fright. "Elm. Sister, it's me." I led Hongrue into the room and asked her why she wasn't sleeping so late. She said she couldn't fall asleep. "Sister, tell me, has the prince changed his mind? More than half a year has passed since Pei Jin's marriage, yet he still hasn't mentioned taking a concubine. In my previous life, he had hastily took me into his chambers just a month after our wedding, but it was merely to torment me." "Don't overthink it. The princess consort comes from a prestigious family. We must proceed with caution and not rush things." Red calmed down after my reassurance, but the next day, Pei Jin suddenly blocked me on a narrow path. "You truly couldn't contain yourself after all. You actually stirred up trouble in front of Red." I carefully reflected on every word I spoke last night, and found no fault in them. Pei Jin remained unconvinced. "As always, Hongrue has a pure heart. She wouldn't understand your roundabout ways. In the end, you're still longing for the position of the wet nurse, wanting to replace her. If not for our differing statuses, I'd really love to have." Pei Jin check his own mind. "Never mind," he said, feigning concession. "Then I'll just inform and have you taken as well. But don't get too excited. I'm not doing this for you. I'm afraid you'll keep causing trouble for Hongrue. Let me make this clear up front. Even if you two enter together, Hongrue comes first, and you come after." He dropped these words as if bestowing a favor. I have been feeling anxious about this all day long. No, I must find a way to leave the residence as soon as possible, for on the 2nd day of the 2nd lunar month, go to the temple fair. The old lady used to go there every year. Now that she's older, she no longer likes crowded places, but she'll have someone donate a sum for incense oil and bring back some vegetarian meals. I gave some silver to the head stewardess, begged her to take me along at the temple fair. I didn't care about the sights. Straight for the riverside. "Help, someone's fallen into the water. Quick, someone save them. Does anyone know how to swim?" A man pushed through the crowd, preparing to take off his shoes and step into the water. I shoved him aside with a quick move. Then I jumped into the water and pulled the woman to safety. The woman I saved was none other than the legitimate second daughter of the current Wei Guogong in her previous life. She was saved by that man when she came ashore. Her outer robe was gone, leaving only her inner garment. The next day, that man came to her door to propose marriage for the sake of his reputation and honor. The Duke gritted his teeth and married off his youngest daughter. Unfortunately, the man was unreliable, excelling at drinking and gambling. I died too early to know the outcome. But I imagine there must have been some suffering involved. The Duchess, grateful for my rescue, wished to reward me with 1,000 taels of silver. Madam, I would like to use this silver to exchange for something else. In the Marquis's mansion, the Duchess and the old madam were having a delightful conversation. Madam, we owe it to the maidservant by your side for saving the day today. Our Wana has taken a real liking to her and wishes to keep her for personal attendance. So, as her mother, I have to swallow my pride and come here to take her away from you. The matriarch politely exchanged a few words with her, giving me a glance whose meaning was ambiguous. Since the lady of the Marquis has spoken, I naturally, grandmother, a hasty voice cut through the conversation. My eyelid twitched violently. I had a bad feeling. The old madam first reprimanded Pei Jin for his rudeness, then dismissed all the maids. Before long, the Duke's consort came out and shook her head helplessly at me, who had been waiting by the door that night. Pei Jin suddenly developed a high fever. The house physician diagnosed it as having been caused by exposure to cold. The old madam punished the servants for negligence and sent me to take care of him. Even as ill as he is, he still finds ways to taunt me. Ha, you think just because you've latched onto the Duke's mansion, you can leave the Marquis' residence. Dream on. As long as I live, you can forget about leaving. I found him annoying and quickly spooned a dose of medicine into his mouth. Pei Jin glared at me. I remained expressionless and said, Your Highness, the medicine should be drunk while hot. He tried to speak again, so I shoved another spoonful into his mouth. Now it's finally quiet. 5. Pei Jin has been ill for several days without improvement, so the elderly matriarch has decided to go up the mountain to pray for his recovery. I've been specifically selected to accompany her. During the break, the old lady asked me, Qing Luo, has your heart changed? I was taken aback for a moment before I realized what she meant. In a low but firm voice, I replied, Never. In this life, I absolutely refuse to have any involvement whatsoever with Pei Jin. The wind was strong on the mountain. Inside the temple, the incense smoke was thick, yet it was strangely quiet. The old lady asked Mama Ju to accompany her into the Sanqing Hall. The rest of us maids waited outside the hall. I saw the old lady finish paying homage to the 3 pure ones and then request a fortune stick. The old Taoist with a white beard who was interpreting the fortune sticks would occasionally glance my way. Back at the residence, the Grand Matriarch called me aside for a private conversation. Qing Luo, I've always favored you to become Jiao's concubine. I dropped to my knees with a thud. I am grateful for the old madam's kindness, but Qing Luo truly does not have such good fortune. The old madam sighed, as if in regret. In truth, Jiao does hold affection for you in his heart, it's just that he is too young and doesn't know how to express it. When it comes to important matters like marriage, he has no say. I thought placing someone he truly likes by his side might offer him some comfort. I was filled with doubt. I thought to myself, could the old matriarch be losing her mind? How could she mistake me for someone Pei Jin has feelings for? You children, she began, then stopped, clearly troubled. When I brought out the contract of servitude, I still couldn't believe it was real. I sold myself into slavery at the age of 8 to bury my mother. It was an elderly lady passing by who gave me 10 taels of silver for the burial expenses. Now she's just handed back my indenture to me like this. She said she cast a horoscope for both me and the young master today at the temple. Our 5 elements clash. It's not auspicious for us to live under the same roof. Indeed, I also believe Pei Jin is detrimental to me. No time to waste. I hurried back to my small courtyard to pack my things to make traveling easier. I kept only a few clothes and some silver, giving the rest to my sisters. Hong Rui, upon learning I was leaving, burst into tears, her eyes red and swollen. Big sister Qing Luo, what will I do after you're gone? I don't know how to comfort her. I just held her and said, take care of yourself. Red, everything that belonged to you, I have returned it all. I hope you have a better life in this world than I do. Separated by just a wall, I could hear the street vendors calling out and the laughter of children playing. I had never felt my steps so light. Big sister Qing Luo, there'll be only good days ahead now. The gatekeeper boy shot me a glance full of envy and blessings. I thanked him restrainedly, not daring to show too much joy. Afraid that elation might lead to disaster. As he opened the door, I almost held my breath. The two-door panels slowly pulled apart. A tall, slender figure stood outside. At that moment, I felt as if I had plunged into an icy dungeon. "Where are you going?" 6. Pei Jin's face was almost devoid of color, pale like a patient's. Those were the only pair of eyes, blood-red and terrifying. Beneath the large cloak, the front of his robe was in disarray. Though slightly disheveled, his noble bearing remained undiminished. I clutched my bundle tightly and spoke, feigning composure. "Master Hui, the elder lady has released my bond slip and allowed me to leave the household." He lifted his chin, his face cold, rigid, and haughty. "Did I give my consent?" In one sentence, he mercilessly crushed the hope that had just begun to rise within me. "I'm completely losing it. Since you, the young prince, are worried that my staying in the mansion will ruin your plans, wouldn't my leaving right now be exactly what you want? Why do you keep clinging to me?" Pei Jin walked up to me and leaned down. Word by word, I said, "I told you before, you'll spend the rest of your life by my side atoning for your sins." I was invited back to the small courtyard, where I ran into Hongrui. Her eyes still wet with tears. She looked at me, then glanced behind me at Pei Jin. Her expression shifted from confusion to sudden understanding, murmuring softly, "So that's how it is." Pei Jin locked me up, and during that time, Hong Rui came to see me. She said she had long noticed that Pei Jin liked me just as the old madam had described. "How can you be sure?" I thought long and hard but still couldn't figure it out. Hongrui scratched her head, recalling, "Though the young master often speaks with me, most of the time his gaze lingers on your figure. Whenever we go out to enjoy ourselves, the thing he asks me about most is your preferences." Now that I think about it, the fabric and pastries the prince bestowed upon everyone were precisely the kinds that my sister likes. Is that so? But I didn't feel it, so if I didn't feel it, it didn't happen. And if affection means constantly turning one's back and repeatedly mocking and ridiculing, then such affection is more than I can bear. I'm just afraid this foolish girl will get hurt, but she seems quite happy right now. Of course I'm happy, being able to stay with my sister forever. She finally noticed something was wrong with my mood. She asked softly, "Is my sister not happy?" I don't like the crown prince, and I don't want to stay here." Hongrui lowered her eyes, nervously twisting the edge of her robe. After a long while, she left on her own. Creak, a faint sound, and the door opened again. It was dark outside, and there were no candles burning inside. By the moonlight streaming in, I barely managed to make out the visitor, the crown prince's wife. Even more shocking was that she was holding my personal contract in her hand. "Let's go to a place you like, to live the life you love." When she spoke, her expression was dim, but her eyes were full of longing. I had no way to repay her kindness, so I could only bow deeply to express my gratitude. The servant responsible for guarding was sent away by her. The gatekeeper was also replaced by the legitimate eldest son's wife. I encountered no obstacles along the way, and was just about to step out of the Marquis's mansion. Behind me came Hongrui's anxious yet deliberately hushed voice. She hurriedly caught up. "Sister, take these snacks with you, they'll help fill your stomach on the way." It turned out she noticed I wasn't happy, so she went back to her room to bring out some delicious treats to cheer me up. Then, she took off all her jewelry and shoved it all into my hands. "And these too, they'll come in handy," she pouted, looking at me with an reluctance. "Sister, you left too suddenly." I didn't even have time to go back and get my personal money. Before I could say anything, she wiped her tears and pushed me outward. "Go, quickly. Don't let the heir find out." 7. I entered the residence at the age of 8, and Hongrui was only 6. Unlike me, she was sold into the household by her parents. This girl has always been carefree since childhood. As long as there's something delicious to eat, even the biggest grievances can be forgotten instantly. She's always loved clinging to me since she was little. She believes whatever I say. As someone else put it, I've sold her so thoroughly that she'd happily count the money for me. All dazed and clueless, maybe my luck really is terrible. The courtyard suddenly lit up brightly, chaos breaking out. I lowered my head and plunged into a narrow alley, instinctively glancing back. The foolish girl, Hongrui, was desperately clinging to Pei Jin's legs, trying to hold him back. "Sister, run." At the other end of the alley, torches were approaching in a cluster, closing in step by step. Reluctantly, I had no choice but to retreat. The way I came, Qingluo, will you come back on your own, or should I come over and catch you? Pei Jin's lips curled into a mocking smile, smiling at my overreach, smiling at me trying to stop the unstoppable. The night wind lifted his robes, his long hair dancing in the air like a black rakshasa come to claim a life. I pulled out my hairpin and held it in my hand. I was weighing whether to fight to the death or bide my time. Suddenly, another troop of horsemen raced over from the street. The leader, dressed in a red robe, was elegant and poised, exuding an extraordinary aura. He dismounted and walked straight toward me. Pei Jin tried to step forward but was stopped by the men the young gentleman had brought. Who are you? Looking at this handsome face before me, I hesitated for a moment, unsure of my recognition. Sister, it's me, Lin Huayuan. He smiled and nodded. I last heard that name at the Marquis's mansion. I saved their daughter, Miss Wang Ning, after waking up. Miss Wang shyly chatted with me about girlhood matters. She said her family had already arranged a good match for her, but the other party insisted that as long as my elder sister remained missing, there would be no talk of romantic feelings. The young man in question was none other than Lin Huayuan, the third-place winner of this year's spring metropolitan examination. I repeated his name, astonished. Could it possibly be a coincidence of names? In any case, I don't want to miss a single opportunity. I asked Miss Wang to help me deliver a letter, looking forward to good news. Sister, I've finally found you. Pei Jin's anger subsided in the face of the Emperor's imperial decree. When the Emperor heard that Lin Huayuan was searching for someone, he praised him for his gratitude and specially ordered the Ministry of Revenue to assist him. Now, with both the contract of indenture and the imperial decree, Pei Jin can no longer stop me. Qingluo, he called out to me. I saw his lips move, forming the words, I'll find you. Just persistent as ever. 8. I followed Lin Huayuan back to his newly acquired small courtyard. The courtyard isn't large, but it's well located and kept impeccably clean. Sister, this will be your home from now on. To be honest, I've only met Lin Huaixing once before. It was last winter when I went out to do some shopping. Encountered him at the street corner helping people write letters home. At the time, he was wearing thin clothing, his hands covered in frostbits, barely able to grip the pen. Miss, would you like someone to write a letter home for you? The instant he looked up, I froze. A red mole at the end of my eyebrow was identical to that of my late younger brother. Dazed, I suddenly had a ridiculous thought. Could my brother still be alive? Miss, Lin Huig waved his hand in front of my eyes. I let out a bitter laugh, shaking my head. How could that be? My younger brother died in my arms with no money to buy a coffin. We could only wrap him in a straw mat and bury him in a graveyard for the faceless dead, calling it a burial. We just left him there. The unmarked grave mound at the time was nearly impossible to find a place to step. Drought and locust plagues ravaged the land, leaving a wasteland stretching to the horizon. People died of hunger and illness like the younger brother, their bones piled up into mountains. Through conversation, I learned that Lin Huayuan was a scholar candidate, unable to afford a better life due to my poor family circumstances. I had to struggle to earn a living while preparing for the imperial examination. Before I left him a 10-tael banknote. It was just awarded by that fellow Pei Jin. That might be his only redeeming quality. Though unpredictable in mood, he's generous with money. Miss, I can't accept this without having earned it, I said. Consider it a bet I'm placing in advance. If you succeed in your future exam, remember to repay me with interest. Is my elder sister still worried? Lin Huayuan was a person with a delicate and thoughtful nature. Yes, I nodded, making no attempt to hide it. Master Lin, I cannot stay here long. I wish to leave as soon as possible, so I must trouble you to help me arrange a boat heading south, he said. Sister, there's no need to be so courteous with me. If it weren't for the 10 taels of silver you gave me back then, Huayuan would never have made it to where I am today. Since I am fortunate enough to resemble your younger brother in appearance, I suppose it must be a kind of fate. From now on, I'll consider you my elder sister. As siblings, we'll look out for each other. Your affairs are mine. Lin Huayuan quickly found out the information for me. The next available ship departs in 5 days. He bought me a ticket and slipped some small silver coins into my hand. I refused to take it. He insisted. Eldest sister, it's not much money, just a small token of my heartfelt gesture. Please take it and use it for now. I'm now serving at the Hanlin Academy, and I'm bound to achieve great things in the future. Once that happens, you won't have to hide from that pay young master anymore." I was deeply moved. Even a real brother couldn't have done better. On the day before our departure, Lin Huiyuan brought back news. Hong Rui had been given her freedom papers by the Marquis's manor. In my mind, I immediately recalled how in the previous life her parents had sold her off to a wealthy merchant as a concubine. No, I can't let Hong Rui walk into danger again. Following the address Lin Huiyuan had found, I tracked down Hong Rui's home. A carriage was parked at the entrance, with people loading items onto it. Under the black cloth, a pair of green shoes embroidered with peach blossoms fell out. It was last year's birthday of Hong Rui. I made it myself. The man put the person onto the carriage and then entered the courtyard. I circled around to the side of the carriage and discovered there was only the driver. Taking advantage of his lack of attention, I shoved him off and quickly drove away. Only after running a long distance did I dare to stop. "Hong Rui, are you all right?" 9. The black cloth was removed, revealing a face that was both paranoid and unruly. His laugh gave me goosebumps, my hair standing on end. "Qing Luo, I told you I'd come find you." "You." I didn't have time to resist. My vision darkened before me, and I lost consciousness. When I came to, I found myself in a dilapidated temple. Pei Jin stared straight at me, his expression one I had never seen before. "I'm sorry," I wanted to create some distance, but found my limbs were weak and I couldn't move at all. He looked guilty. I remember everything about my past life now, so he had only remembered half of it before. "I didn't know you were so seriously ill back then. The people attending to you clearly said it wasn't serious, and the family physician had already examined you. But after you died, I executed them myself, to accompany you in death." "Pei Jin." I looked at him, with only one question. "In my previous life, you knew the lottery draw wasn't rigged by me, didn't you?" He slowly turned his face away, whispering, "Yes, I knew." In fact, he had already asked the elderly matriarch whom she would arrange for him to marry. The matriarch only said it would be someone he liked. Later, when he found out it was me who had picked the Joy character, he was so delighted he couldn't sleep a wink that night. Yet, even though I became his concubine, I remained gloomy and discontented. He was unhappy, and he wouldn't allow it, so he used every means to torment me, trying to get my attention and stir up my emotions, even if it meant hatred. "You're always so cold and distant, so hard to please. Silver, food, fine clothes, things I hand out like flowing water, yet you don't even spare them a glance. Sometimes I wonder how a mere maid like you managed to remain unmoved by praise or humiliation." I think, if he had seen corpses scattered everywhere, people resorting to cannibalism, he might still remain the same. Pei Jin grew more and more excited, endlessly pouring out his grievances. "I'm a prince of noble birth, yet I'm constantly chasing after you, and you don't even deign to acknowledge me. Think back, you've turned your cold shoulder on my warm advances so many times. I don't care to count, I don't remember. All I recall is how he deliberately snatched my counting board away while I was doing the accounts, caused the entire ledger to be recalculated when I was disciplining my young maid, deliberately supported the other side and went against me, caused me to lose my authority and making it difficult to command respect. Similar incidents are too numerous to mention." Seeing my displeased expression, he apologized again. "Anyway, I was wrong about what happened before, and I apologize to you. Fortunately, fate has given us another chance. In this life, I will treat you well and never let you down again. You can trust me." I corrected the mistake in his words. "Pei Jin, between you and me, the word betrayal doesn't apply. I have never had feelings for you, let alone any expectations. If you're going to make amends, it should be with the heir's consort, or Hong Rui. I'd be endlessly grateful if you'd only let me go." Pei Jin stared at me for a moment, then he gave a mocking smile and said, "Qing Luo, am I really so repulsive to you?" "Yes," I replied frankly. "No normal person would express affection through humiliation and belittlement. I told you before, Pei Jin should go see a doctor for his brain. Qing Luo, Lin Huiyuan is nearly here." Right. I had a backup plan." Pei Jin curled his lips upward. Too bad, he's a little too late." The flame flickered, swallowing the ruined temple in an instant. Pei Jin lowered his head to kiss my lips, but I turned away. He didn't get angry. Instead, he gently forced my face back. I bit down hard on him, drawing blood. This lunatic actually brought in a condemned prisoner to fake my death, hoping to completely seize me from now on. From today onward, there is no longer a Qing Luo in this world. 10. No one will come looking for you. Slowly, no one will remember you. You'll have no choice but to stay by my side. He brought me to a manor and ordered someone to keep a strict watch on me. Where is Hongrue? That was what worried me the most. Relax, even if it's for your sake. I won't let anything happen to her. That night, Pei Jin intended to stay overnight, lying on the same bed again. Unpleasant memories from the past resurfaced. Don't touch me, he froze, then reluctantly lay back down. Qing Luo, I used the wrong approach before, but no one ever taught me how to love someone since I was little. Will you teach me from now on? I'm willing to learn for you. I turned over, facing away from him. It's your parents' responsibility, not mine. Lord who is sentimental, with numerous wives and concubines, lady who wielded her authority with ruthless severity. Besides her 2 legitimate children, there wasn't a single illegitimate child in the entire household. The couple usually started quarreling within 3 sentences of speaking to each other. It's not surprising that Pei Jin turned out to be so selfish and arrogant, but I have no reason to endure it. The next day, just as dawn was breaking, there was sudden movement in the courtyard. Pei Jin suddenly snapped awake, drew his sword, and shielded me behind him. At the same moment, I pulled out my hairpin and pressed it against his throat. Asterisk clang. Asterisk the door was kicked open. Sister, following closely. Behind were the family matriarch and the marquis. Before I went to look for Hongrue, I had asked Miss Wang from the Duke's residence for a certain type of fragrant ingredient. Clothes perfumed with it would carry a distinctive scent that would linger for a long time. An ordinary person might find it hard to distinguish, but the big yellow dog raised at the Marquis's mansion can track people by scent. At this moment, it placed its 2 forepaws on the edge of the bed, tongue lolling out as it wildly wagged its tail at me. Soon, Pei Jin was tied up and carried away by people from the Marquis's residence. At the doorway, he suddenly broke free from his restraints. He ran back and hugged me tightly. Wait for me. I'll come back for sure. The servants pulled him away, but he kept shouting my name. It made my head ache. After several days apart, I noticed the old lady's temples had a few more strands of silver hair. Poor child, you've suffered. This old woman failed to discipline him. In the future, I won't let him come and bother you again. Jiawa needs to grow up. I don't want to say it's okay because Pei Jin truly caused me a great deal of trouble. However, we probably won't meet again. Lin Huiyuan hurriedly rode his horse to get me to the dock. Fortunately, we still made it in time. Huiyuan, thank you. Lin Huiyuan's eyes were slightly reddened. Between us siblings, there's never a need to say thanks. Parting ways now. Please take care. The Green Mountains will not change. Our meeting will surely come again. Alright. I turned to board the ship, my backpack on my back. Once again, a familiar voice sounded behind me. Sister, sister, wait for me. It was Hongrue. Phew, I'm dead from running. She was panting heavily. Why did you come here? Where did you come from? Seeing that she was safe, I finally felt relieved. Ms. Wang said you're leaving, elder sister. Please take me with you. Following the direction of her finger, Wang Waning, the second daughter of the Duke's mansion, was also running in total disarray. It turned out Lin Huiyuan had been secretly asking her to keep an eye on Hongrui's movements. Sister, we finally made it in time. Sister, I raised an eyebrow and looked at Lin Huiyuan. Is this a dress? Correct. The young girl, thin-skinned, shyly hid behind Lin Huiyuan. Sister always loves to tease people. Alright. A talented man matches a beautiful woman, a heaven-sent couple. 11. I boarded the boat with Hongrui. Lin Huiyuan and Wang Waning repeatedly urged me to be sure to return when they get married. I agreed. Sister, Miss Wang brought me lots of food. Have a taste. As she spoke, she opened the bundle. Tucked among several bags of pastries and cakes was a stack of silver notes worth a considerable sum. I let out a sigh of admiration. Now that's a girl who knows how to live properly. Jiangju has a pleasant climate and beautiful scenery, and Hongrui finds everything fascinating. I bought a residence for Her and leased a shop as well. We specialize in making custom garments for young ladies from wealthy families. We also sell some of Hongrue's self-made cosmetics, such as rouge and face powder. I should also thank Grandma Elder. She taught us all these things. She said it's hard for a woman to stand in this world, and one must always have a skill to rely on. Lin Huiyuan wrote, saying Pei Jin was insisting on divorce, and when that failed, sought to abandon her. He was so furious that he was hoisted up and severely whipped. The lady of the heir's family couldn't bear the humiliation and immediately handed in a divorce petition. The two families nearly came to blows in the imperial court. Hongrue leaned over, pressing close to my ear, and whispered softly, "Sister, why has that young Master Chen come again? He's already been here 3 times this month. First, he invited us to take measurements for his mother, then it was for his younger sister. 2 days ago he mentioned again that his grandmother really likes our craftsmanship and wants to have a set of clothes made too. Miss Hongrue, is it inconvenient? This boy is too transparent." Before even 2 sentences were finished, he already turned red. "Clearly, he's just here to steal my cabbage." Hongrue stared blankly, then said, "I need to ask my sister if she's going." I smiled and stepped out from behind the counter. "May I ask, Master Chen, which relative in your family are you measuring for this time?" He hastily replied, "It's my aunt." "Fine. The whole family pitches in at the dining table." I asked Hongrue if she had thoughts about getting married. To my surprise, this little girl suddenly said, "If my sister wants me to marry, then I'll marry. If my sister is unwilling, then I won't marry." Well, it seems young Master Chen has quite a chase ahead of him. Another winter passed, and I received news of my younger brother's happy event. His wedding to Miss Wang is set for the 6th day of March next year. I brought Hongrue back to attend the wedding feast. At the banquet, I happened to run into Pei Jin. At first, I didn't recognize him. He'd become so thin. I was told by my younger brother that after his divorce, Pei Jin never remarried. They stirred up the whole house trying to find me. Once, it was pouring heavily outside. He insisted on climbing the artificial hill to pick flowers, but accidentally fell and injured his head, forgetting some people, some things, and I, as it happens, was among them. "Miss, please wait." I was startled. It was Pei Jin's voice. He bowed very politely with his hands clasped. "Pardon my boldness, but have we met before?" "No." Then, he was about to continue when a servant boy came out to look for him. Interrupting his words, the servant recognized me and froze on the spot. "Ching." I made a silencing gesture and took the chance to leave. After the grand wedding, my younger brother suggested I could stay in the capital. Both sides of Pei Jin are suffering from amnesia and no longer remember me. They won't trouble me again in the future. I thought about it and politely declined. Last life, I died trapped here. This life, I just want to die somewhere else. 12. Not long after returning to Jiangju, a pastry shop opened next door, which delighted Hongrue to no end. She ran over there 2 or 3 times a day. Master Chen runs even more frequently than she does. I'm afraid this pig won't even get to root up my cabbages before it turns the cabbages into pig. The owner of the pastry shop behaves in a most mysterious way. After opening for so long, I've never seen him once inside the shop. Only 2 assistants and a foreman are bustling about. That evening after closing, I was the only one there. Red was picked up by Mr. Chen to go to the Lantern Festival. There weren't many people on the road, so I tried to stick to the main streets. Still, it was hard to avoid running into a few drunkards. When one of them had nearly reached my pig's foot, I had already prepared to scatter the powder. They were lucky. The patrol officer arrived and took the men away. I turned around and caught a brief glimpse of a figure in the corner, one I recognized. The next day, as soon as the pastry shop opened, I burst in. "Send your boss to see me." A moment later, the boss appeared. Sure enough, it was him. "Are you well now?" Why are you here?" Pei Jin smiled bitterly. "I just want to stay by you. Somewhere I can see you. I won't interfere with your life." I spoke without mercy. "Your very existence is an intrusion." The conversation ended bitterly. To be precise, there was nothing worthwhile to talk about with him. What I said, he simply couldn't hear. I don't want to hear what he says. A few days later, a household manager from his family came to see me. He said that Pei Jin was ill, had caught a cold, refused to see a doctor, and only wanted to see me. I laughed. "What? Am I a doctor? Or do I naturally carry healing powers? Does he just need to see me to get better? The steward, no idea where Pei-jin hired him from, was an absolute master at wearing people down. Unable to bear the harassment, I had no choice but to make the trip. The same scene as in the previous life, only the roles were reversed. He lay down, while I stood, he's sick, and I'm watching. Speak up, what do you want with me? He struggled to rise, his face flushed an unnatural red from the high fever. If I don't see a doctor, I'll leave my fate to chance, suffer the pain you've suffered, endure the anguish you've endured. Can you forgive me? Give me a chance. I pondered for a moment. Then asked him with great seriousness, Pei-jin, have you ever considered if you truly met with some accident on my account, would the Marquis's manor let me off? From beginning to end, he had only considered his own gains and losses, never my predicament. I don't know if he eventually saw a doctor. Anyway, the pastry shop next door had closed, with a notice of transfer posted on the door. Several months passed. Under the constant indulgence of Chen's various delicacies, Hongrue finally relented and agreed before the wedding. She asked me again and again, sister, you won't leave again, will you? If you ever want to go somewhere, you must take me with you. When her husband heard this, he almost burst into tears. Sister, you absolutely cannot leave, or else my family will fall apart. He tearfully grasped Hongrue's hand. Hongrue, if you two really have to leave, could you take me with you? Hongrue said seriously, no can do, outsiders can't get involved in us sisters' affairs. Alright, I guess I'm truly stuck with this now. Letter from a younger brother in the capital. Pei-jin has been bedridden for a long time, refusing to take medicine all along, and passed away yesterday. Counting the time, it would only be shortly after the pastry shop closed that day. He also asked me a question, if there is a next life, could he be given a chance? I replied, if there really is one, I hope we never know each other, never meet, and simply go our own ways in peace. The first story ends here. Let's begin the second story. I am a phoenix nurtured by heaven and earth, having spent 1,000 years my essence and blood into a phoenix egg. When I was away quelling demons, suddenly a stream of chat messages appeared before my eyes. No wonder she's the main heroine, taking advantage of Feng Yao's absence. She's straight up stealing the base, princess. Quickly stash the egg into your spatial dimension. That's an ancient space. How could the Feng Yao divine lord possibly find it? What's wrong with the heroine forcibly binding it before it even hatched? She's the chosen one of fate. After the little phoenix hatched, it still wanted to kill its master. Fortunately, little treasure isn't overly forgiving. She immediately turned it into a puppet. Feng Yao divine lord thought his daughter willingly served, so he directly submitted to the heroine. Just this Black Lotus heroine is so satisfying. Chapter 1. I narrowed my phoenix eyes sharply. The true fire nearly slipped out of control. How could the demon clan possess such bizarre spells? Creating these mind-disturbing words out of thin air for a millennium, I have protected human cultivators, and multiple times I have reinforced the great demon sealing array with my own essence blood. If humanity harbored even half a grain of gratitude, they would never have dared to harm my child while I was sealing the demons. Nevertheless, I closed my eyes and focused my mind, trying to sense my daughter's bloodline aura, but the connection that had always been so clear in the past was now severed completely. My chest suddenly tightened, and the demonic energy below surged violently. Divine Lord Feng Yao, the cultivator below cried out, retreating in alarm, are you alright? The demonic energy is about to get out of control. I suppressed my panic, flames surging from my fingertips, forcefully driving the demonic energy back beneath the abyss. That phoenix egg was formed from my own essence and blood. In just 3 days, it will hatch. The Yunxiao sect leader knelt outside my nest with dozens of cultivators, saying that if the demonic energy leaked, the entire cultivation world would be devastated. I had just left my daughter who was about to be born to help them eliminate the demons, but I never expected someone to break into the phoenix nest. A glaring barrage of comments scrolled by. The female protagonist has already returned to the Yunxiao sect, here it comes. The scene where the heroine confronts the saintly White Lotus disciple who's been playing the victim, the heroine's phoenix egg was obtained at the risk of her life by breaking into the phoenix nest. Why should she give it back? Exactly. Baijiro did nothing but open her mouth, and suddenly the heroine has to return it. Just thinking about this plot makes me so angry. Even if the White Lotus girl is incompetent, she still claims that if Fengyao Divine Lord finds out, it'll bring trouble to the sect if a girl dares to take it. She obviously has a way to avoid getting caught. This White Lotus junior sister even reported the main female character to Fengyao Divine Lord out of jealousy. If it weren't for the heroine having already turned the little phoenix into a puppet, the little phoenix would definitely have gone with Fengyao God Lord in cultivation. One must be willing to do anything, don't you understand? Strength rules. I clenched my fingers tightly, wishing I could be right there with my daughter in an instant, but once he leaves the demon suppression abyss, his demonic energy will inevitably spiral out of control. For now, I can only pluck a golden feather and transform it into an avatar. Go quickly to the Cloudsaw sect and bring back my daughter. The avatar nodded, flapped its wings, and flew off toward the Cloudsaw sect. The Danmaku exploded upon seeing the clone. Why did Fengyao Divine Lord suddenly send a clone toward Yinxiao sect? Sensed that the egg was gone, didn't they? Fengyao Divine Lord arrived too late. The main female lead has already completed the contract. My clone moved at lightning speed and reached the heavens above Yunxiao sect in the time it takes to burn half a stick of incense. Indeed, this foremost human sect is quite majestic. Ancient runes flicker at the mountain gate, said to be capable of withstanding a blow from the strongest ancestral master in the cultivation realm. Since my clone's spiritual energy is limited, breaking through the formation will take some time. I'll have it first use its spiritual sense to explore. On Lanyu Peak, the mountain richest in spiritual energy, a group of young cultivators had gathered together. Among them, the tiny figure curled up in the arms of a white-robed female cultivator caught my eye in an instant, making my heart shatter. Her golden-red fur was damp and clinging to her body, her wings still undeveloped. This was my daughter, Huanga, yet she should not have hatched for another 3 days. Now, she was so weak she couldn't even muster the strength to open her eyes. At that moment, the female lead, Lin Qingshuang, directly raised her hand and slapped the white-robed female cultivator. The bullet screen was instantly flooded with the character satisfying. Lin Qingshuang's tone was as cold as a knife. Baijiro, I have already tolerated you time and again. This phoenix is mine once I've obtained it. It's my possession. What right do you have to comment on how I deal with it? Out of respect for our time as fellow disciples, return the phoenix to me, and I'll spare you. Baijiro clutched her face, her eyes red with tears, yet she held the little phoenix even tighter. Elder senior sister, legend says that Divine Lord Fengyao has only produced this one egg in 10,000 years. You cannot simply take away their child without permission. Lin Qingshuang sneered, her eyes full of disdain. What do you mean simply take away? I happened to obtain this while out on my travels. It has nothing to do with stealing or robbing. Happened to obtain it. I set up numerous layers of protective arrays around the nest. Not even a Mahayana stage cultivator could get in. Her so-called coincidence was clearly premeditated all along. Chapter 2. Baijiro tightly hugged the little phoenix in her arms, her voice choked with tears. Senior sister, the little phoenix has said it doesn't want to be with you anymore. Just let it go. Before Lin Qingshuang could speak, the live comment barrage burst into action. Where does White Lotus get the nerve to say that? She can't even get an egg herself, yet she dares to meddle with the female lead's business. I can't stand this hypocritical act of Baijiro. Give the phoenix egg back to the female lead now. The female lead risked her life to get the egg, while Baijiro just stood by making snide remarks. Disgusting. The male cultivator behind Lin Qingshuang stepped forward and frowned at Baijiro. Baijiro, stop fooling around. Return the phoenix to Qingyu at once. This phoenix has already been contracted to her, and yet it tried to break the contract on its own. It deserves to be punished. Baijiro's tears fell even harder, making her look pitiful and helpless. But master, didn't you see? Senior apprentice sister just used the heart-devouring thunder. That's a forbidden technique that even nascent soul cultivators cannot resist. The little phoenix has just hatched. It's only a child. How can it endure this? Lin Qingshuang folded her arms across her chest and looked at Baijiro with a half-smile. So what? This is my contracted spirit beast. I can discipline it however I wish. Even if you smelt it, it's none of your business to speak. Heart-searing thunder, my true body deep within the demon-suppressing abyss trembled violently. Golden true fire erupting uncontrollably, scorching the demonic energy below, which shrieked in agony. This thunder harms not only the physical body, but also tears at the soul. Careless mishandling will result in complete soul dissipation. My daughter is just a newly hatched chick. Her spirit soul is already unstable. How could she withstand the torment of the heart-devouring thunder? Yet the comments were all cheering for disobedient beasts. The heart-devouring thunder is exactly what they deserve. That phoenix is so stupid. The little princess is the destined child of heaven. She'll ascend to the upper realms in the future. Following her is a great fortune. How dare she resist? Exactly, spirit companions should act like spirit companions. If they dare defy their masters, they deserve punishment. Bai Ji. Ru furrowed her brows, still trying to argue. Senior sister, forcibly separating this mother and daughter like this already goes against the will of heaven. What if Feng Yao Divine Lord finds out? Lin Qingshuang immediately cut her off, her voice laced with mockery. What if he does find out? So what? It's her own fault that Feng Yao Divine Lord doesn't care. She neglects the nearly hatching egg and insists on going out. Since I got it, she can only blame herself. After all, the little phoenix receives the best care with me. What opportunities could she possibly have following that Feng Yao Divine Lord except guarding the demon-sealing abyss? The barrage immediately echoed. The lady is absolutely right. Feng Yao Divine Lord is irresponsible himself, deservedly caught with his egg. Miss Girl is a prodigy in formation cultivation. She'll be the one to subdue demons in the future. What's Feng Yao Divine Lord compared to that? The little phoenix has a future only by following the main female lead. I took a deep breath, my heart torn in two. If I leave the demon-sealing abyss right now, the demon energy will go completely out of control, leading to widespread devastation. But my daughter is suffering unimaginable torment. Lin Qingshuang took a step forward, her eyes growing cold. Bai Jiro, I've run out of patience. If you don't give me back the phoenix soon, I won't be held responsible for my actions. Bai Jiro hurriedly looked at the male cultivator, pleading in her voice, Master, please persuade the senior sister. Okay, for many years, Lady Feng Yao has been helping to suppress the demonic energy. If she finds out her child has been stolen, not only will our Yunxiao sect be in danger, the entire cultivation world might face total annihilation. The male cultivator's expression finally shifted, a hint of hesitation appearing in his eyes. Jiro does have a point. Chapter 3. Lin Qingshuang's eyes were full of arrogance and disdain. Junior sister, you really know how to play with people's hearts, making men favor you with just a few words. What? Can't find a reason to argue back, so you've resorted to scaremongering. Bai Zhio turned bright red at her words, flustered and furious. I didn't, I just told the truth. Lin Qingshuang sneered. Told the truth? What does that have to do with the Phoenix Yao Divine Lord? Suppressing the demonic energy relies on the human race's grand formation. What does that have to do with her? Besides, I'm a natural genius in formation cultivation. By the later stages, those people will be begging me to seal the demons. The live chat messages flooded the screen. Exactly. That white lotus is so annoying. She's always pretending to be pitiful to win sympathy. Do we really need Divine Lord Feng Yao to suppress demonic energy? The human race's formation array alone is sufficient. She's become so powerful already. In the future, she'll definitely surpass Feng Yao Divine Lord. A few different comments floated by, but Feng Yao Divine Lord still played a role, didn't he? The demon-purifying array used by the female lead was made using Phoenix Essence blood. Yeah, she made Lord Feng Yao obey her every command by relying on the little phoenix, and every time she set up a formation, she drew blood from Lord Feng Yao. Now that you mention it, Lady Feng Yao is truly pitiable. She thought this would protect her daughter, but she didn't realize her daughter's soul had already been extinguished back. Then get the sanctimonious jerk upstairs out of here. The play's title clearly states it's a villainess with a black lotus, so why are you showing kindness here? Our little girl really knows how to manipulate people. It's astonishing. Now this is what it means to survive in the cultivation world. Bai Jiru still wanted to say something, but Lin Qingshuang simply ignored her. Her eyes turned directly to my daughter, her voice cold as she commanded, "Come here." My daughter was terribly weak. Her voice, "No." Lin Qingshuang's expression turned dark. "So you'd like to experience the pain of the soul-eating thunder again? Is that it?" I saw my daughter tightly shut her eyes. "If you're brave enough, kill me. My mother will definitely avenge me." The live comments exploded instantly. "This phoenix is truly ungrateful. Thinks it's got a free pass. Nu Bao kindly brought it to the upper realm, and it still dares to hope for revenge from Phoenix Lady Fengyao. Just wait, Nu Bao will teach it a lesson with the soul-eating thunder. Let it learn who's really in charge." A cruel glint flashed in Lin Qingshuang's eyes. "Refusing the drink, then you'll take the penalty." She spoke, and dark purple lightning began coalescing at her fingertips. At the very instant the lightning was about to strike, my avatar finally broke through the formation. A resounding phoenix cry echoed through heaven and earth. The blazing true fire enveloped the gentle little phoenix, shielding it from the heart-devouring thunder outside. Hearing the phoenix cry, the little phoenix suddenly opened its eyes, exclaiming with delight, "Mommy." Chapter 4. I heartily took my daughter from Baijiro's arms. Scars of torment covered my daughter's body. Most of her golden fur had been pulled out, exposing raw, bleeding skin beneath. Burnt, black scabs dotted her back and wings, the scars left by the soul-consuming thunder. Worst of all, her spirit soul, weakened by hatching prematurely, had become extremely unstable and could collapse at any moment. My heart aches so much that I can barely breathe. In 1,000 years, I have never been so furious. Even when facing the most brutal demonic forces, I have never felt such an urge to grind my enemy into dust. The barrage of comments flashes wildly before my eyes. How did Feng Yao Divine Lord come here? Didn't she have to stay at the demon ceiling formation? According to the storyline, she shouldn't be appearing now. Is the plot breaking down? Feng Yao Divine Lord is being so selfish. What if the demonic energy goes out of control now that she's left the demon ceiling formation? Oh no, 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 the main female lead is in danger now. Feng Yao Divine Lord's strength is comparable to that of a grand cultivation stage expert. The male cultivator took an involuntary step back upon seeing me. Lin Qingshuang, however, still tried to stay calm, playing dumb and asking, "Who are you? How dare you intrude into the Cloud Ascension sect and try to steal my spiritual companion?" I lowered my head, infusing my daughter with some spiritual energy, and when I looked up again, my phoenix eyes were brimming with killing intent. "You stole my daughter and pretend you don't know me? Lin Qingshuang, you have quite the nerve." The male cultivator turned even paler. "You aren't the Fengyao Divine Lord, are you?" Lin Qingshuang, however, stared at me with a dark and sinister gaze. "It's impossible. With demonic energy flooding out, Fengyao Divine Lord should be busy containing it at the demon ceiling array. How could he possibly be here? You must be fake. Baijiro sent you to scare me." She turned to Baijiro, her voice laced with accusation. "Baijiro, to steal my spiritual pet, you'd resort to such despicable tactics. This truly disappoints me." The live comments immediately rallied in support. "The heroine is so clever. She immediately saw through the scheming of that White Lotus girl. This Baijiro is absolutely annoying. To steal the phoenix, she even hired someone to impersonate the Divine Lord Feng Yao. Don't be afraid, little treasure. Expose their true faces and show them what you're made of." I narrowed my phoenix-like eyes, true fire dancing around my body, the air temperature instantly rising. "My patience is limited. Release the contract, and I'll let you live. If you persist in your stubbornness, don't blame me for wiping out the cloud-soaring sect." But Lin Qingshuang stubbornly held her head high, showing no intention of backing down. "This is my contracted spirit beast. No one has the right to take it. Even if you were truly the Fengyao Divine Lord, you can't be so unreasonable." I snorted coldly, intending to intimidate her with true fire, but suddenly, a black barrier flashed into existence around her. Comments burst out in laughter. "Didn't expect that, did you?" The little girl previously touched the tomb of the black tortoise, grinding its bones into a defensive magical robe with the black tortoise armor. "Feng Yao Spirit Lord can't Harm her. Feng Yao Divine Lord is definitely doomed. Nu Bao is the chosen one of fate, how could she possibly lose? Seeing the live chat comments, my anger surged even more. Xuanwu was a primordial beast born alongside me, long ago. It exhausted its spiritual energy and died while sealing another volatile demon abyss. Its corpse was revered by human cultivators as a sacred relic. Lin Qingshuang not only failed to show gratitude, but instead desecrated Xuanwu's sacred body, using it to make a defensive robe. Such actions are truly beneath even swine and dogs. Seeing that I was blocked, Lin Qingshuang wore an expression on her face. It's your own fault, she said, then gathered her sword energy and lunged at me. After all, my clone was merely made from feathers, making it hard to withstand the attack. Not long after, the doppelganger began to grow transparent. Mother, the little phoenix noticed something amiss and called out anxiously. Seeing this, Lin Qingshuang laughed even more delightfully as my doppelganger completely vanished. The live chat instantly erupted in celebration. The girl has won, ha ha ha. Even Feng Yao Divine Lord isn't that impressive. Now it's time to craft the puppet. Looking forward to what the girl will do. Seeing her clone dissipate, the daughter burst into tears and struggled desperately to rush toward Lin Qingshuang. I'll take you down with me to avenge my mother. Lin Qingshuang seized her wing, her crimson robe fluttering violently in the wind. Me, you actually think you can take me down with you? Watching everything unfold from the demon-suppressing abyss, my last remnant of pity vanished completely. I originally wanted to leave Lin Qingshuang a way out, but now it's clear that it's completely unnecessary. Ignoring the shouts of the cultivators behind me, I spread my wings and flew toward the Cloud Sky sect. Is it not said that strength rules? Then let me show you what true strength really is. Chapter 5. Lin Qingshuang's fingers were tightly pinching my daughter's wing. My daughter trembled all over from the pain, yet stubbornly glared at her. I will never submit, Lin Qingshuang sneered. I only need the puppet's submission. The sky suddenly darkened, and a fierce wind, carrying scorching waves of energy, roared toward us. My true body descended upon the sky above Lanyu Peak. The colossal phoenix deity body obscured the heavens, and where its tail feathers swept, the ground split into intricate cracks. My daughter saw me, and her tense body instantly relaxed. Mother, I'm so glad you're safe. Lin Qingshuang turned pale, but she still tried to maintain her composure. How did you leave the demon-subduing abyss? If the demonic energy there goes out of control, the cultivation realm will be destroyed. Don't you fear heavenly retribution? The comment stream exploded. Holy shit, is Feng Yao Divine Lord really abandoning the demon subjugation abyss? Is he going to drag the female lead down with him? The plot is going off the rails. How did she get here so early? Daughter, quickly shove the little phoenix into the ancient realm. Once it's inside, Feng Yao's Divine Lord won't be able to touch you. The realm hasn't been upgraded yet. It can store eggs, but not living creatures like a phoenix. Oh no, oh no. Who could possibly withstand the power of a great consummation cultivator? I lowered my gaze to Lin Qingshuang, my voice as cold as ice. Give my daughter back to me, and I'll let you live. Why should I? Lin Qingshuang tightened her grip on her daughter's wing again. The blood pact was signed voluntarily by both parties. Don't you dare act so unreasonable. I didn't, the daughter screamed in panic. I was still sleeping inside my egg. It was you who cracked my shell open and forced me to sign the contract with the soul-eating thunder. Baijiri hurried forward, reaching out to pull the little phoenix closer. Senior sister, please return the little phoenix to the God Lord immediately. You've already defied the natural order by forcibly forging the contract. If you continue like this, you'll bring disaster upon the sect. The male cultivator also urged. Qingshuang, give the child back. What do you know? In the cultivation world, might makes right. I earned this phoenix, it's my skill. Why should I return it to her? Lin Qingshuang patted her chest, her Xuanwu armor glowing. I have a suit forged from the body of the Xuanwu deity. She can't harm me, even if she wants to destroy the Yunxiao sect. I'm not afraid. The live chat began cheering her on. She truly is the ultimate villainess, so ruthless and fearless. She shouldn't be overly compassionate. Go ahead and destroy it. She's destined to ascend to the heavens someday. What's the Yunxiao sect compared to that? That's right. Who does Feng Yao Divine Lord think she is? Does she really believe she can control the main female lead? The people from Yunxiao sect all turned pale. Several elders hurried over, grabbing Lin Qingshuang's arm and urgently saying, "Qingshuang, are you mad? Quickly return little phoenix. If Fengyao Divine Lord truly loses her temper, our entire sect will be annihilated." "Yeah, Qingshuang, stop being childish. The phoenix never belonged to us in the first place, just give it back, and everyone will be better off." But Lin Qingshuang suddenly shoved them aside, sneering at me. "Want me to give it back? Not a chance. If you're so strong, go annihilate the Yunxiao sect. Let's see if you dare carry the sin of destroying a major mortal sect." I narrowed my phoenix eyes, the golden true flame at my claws gathering stronger and stronger, its scorching aura beginning to warp the air around me. Chapter 6. Since you're stubborn and unwilling to see reason, then don't blame me for being ruthless. I didn't want to shatter the remains of the black tortoise, but Lin Qingshuang was using it as a tool for her wicked deeds, so I had no choice but to act. Golden true flames coalesced into a thick pillar of light, slamming directly into the black tortoise armor on Lin Qingshuang's chest. The entire Lanyu peak trembled. The black aura on Xuanyu's armor instantly shattered, then completely disintegrated into powder. Lin Qingshuang was knocked back several steps, spitting out a mouthful of blood onto the ground. "No, impossible." Lin Qingshuang clutched her chest, her earlier smugness instantly replaced by panic. "How can the Xuanwu divine body break? How could it be shattered by you?" I didn't give her a chance to react. Transforming into human form and diving down, grabbing her collar in one swift motion, she kept struggling. "Let me go. I'm the senior disciple of the Yunxiao sect. If you hurt me, my master and ancestral elders won't let you off." Slap. The crisp sound of a slap echoed across the entire Lanyu peak. Lin Qingshuang's cheek instantly swelled up. 5 clear fingerprints mark her face. She was stunned, as if she couldn't believe she had been struck. After a few seconds, she finally reacted, screaming, "How dare you hit me? I'll kill you." The chat messages flooded the screen with accusations. "Feng Yao God Lord is going too far. How could he hit Enyu Bao? Selfish. For the sake of a little bird, he ignores the demon suppressing abyss, and now he hurt the main female character. Doesn't she fear the demonic energy will go out of control? Qing Shuang is the chosen one of fate. Is Feng Yao Divine Lord planning to destroy the entire cultivation world? Oh no, no, the plot has completely gone off track. How can the girl sect leader ascend to the upper realm if something happens to her? Relying on the overly virtuous by Lian Hua, by Ji Ru, that would be a total disaster. By Ji Ru, this fake saintly woman is only obsessed with stealing men. How could she possibly cultivate and ascend to immortality? I gripped Lin Qingshuang's chin, my eyes cold. "Now, will you break the contract with my daughter?" Lin Qingshuang cried out in pain, tears welling up in her eyes, yet she still gritted her teeth and endured. "Never break it, I tell you. I've made a blood pact with it. If I die, it won't survive either. If you dare kill me, your daughter will have to die with me." She fixed me with a gaze filled with threats. "If you want your daughter to stay alive, just do what I say without question. After this, when I tell you to go to the demon-suppressing town, you must go. When I tell you to give me your essence blood, you must give it. Otherwise, I'll torture your daughter using the blood oath." The little phoenix cried desperately. "Mother, don't listen to her. I'd rather die." I let out a cold laugh. "Do you really think a blood pact can control me?" Just as I was about to break the contract, 3 powerful auras suddenly arrived from afar. Chapter 7. 3 old men with white beards landed on Lanyu Peak. Seeing Lin Qingshuang's disheveled state, his expression immediately turned dark. The senior elder in charge was the highest ranked Xian realm cultivator of Yunxiao sect, pointing at me and shouting furiously, "Lord Fengyao, you've gone too far. You recklessly left the demon-sealing abyss, causing demonic energy to leak out. You're still assaulting the Yunxiao sect and damaging property. Have you been corrupted by the demon aura? Losing your sense of right and wrong?" Another elder chimed in, his voice agitated. "That's right. Every time the demonic aura goes out of control, we beg you to act with humility. Who would have thought you'd become so arrogantly spoiled? It's just a newly hatched child. Are you really going to abandon countless lives for it?" Yes, you also injured the most talented disciple of my sect. Most talented. I pointed to the wounds on my daughter's body. Look for yourselves how your beloved disciple treated my daughter. I'm just coming to get back my own child. How did that become assault and destruction? The elder in front frowned, momentarily stunned, then spoke with a dismissive tone. So what if you've signed a blood pact? Qing Shuang is a destined child of heaven, blessed with great fortune. Your daughter being by her side is a tremendous blessing. What's there to quarrel about? Prosperity. I laughed bitterly. Forcing a contract through forbidden arts, this is what you call prosperity. Is this the rule of your Yunxiao sect, allowing your disciples to steal and aiding evil deeds? The live commentary erupted in chaos, different opinions flashing across my vision like a torrent. Isn't Lady Fengyao being way too petty? If little Phoenix sticks with her, she'll even get a chance to ascend. Isn't that a blessing? Exactly. The main female character has so many blessings and opportunities. Little Phoenix would be far better off following her than staying with Lady Fengyao to guard the demon sealing abyss. Lady Fengyao just doesn't know what's good for her. Is it just me who feels something's off? In the original novel, Lady Fengyao ultimately sacrificed her divine body to help the heroine set up the formation to seal the demons. Following the heroine doesn't exactly lead to a good ending. If you're so compassionate, why are you even watching this? This is a story about a Dark Lotus heroine. She needs to be ruthless to be satisfying. I stared at the live chat, my anger boiling even higher. Chosen One, I think you're just a thief. If you don't give me an answer today, I'll crush your Yunxiao sect to the ground. You dare? The senior master in front frowned sharply, his spiritual energy instantly surging forth. Qing Shuang is our only hope for transcendence. For 10,000 years, no one in the cultivation realm has ever achieved transcendence. Only she possesses this potential. She is far more important than you. If you dare harm her, we'll fight you to the death, even if it costs us our lives. Seeing this, Lin Qing Shuang immediately moved behind her ancestor, her voice choked with emotion. Ancestor, I have a way to completely subdue the demon. I will draw the ancient town demon sealing array. As long as it's combined with Phoenix essence, we can permanently seal the demonic energy. Yet she not only refused to give her essence, but also tried to kill me. Upon hearing this, the ancestor's gaze instantly turned vicious as he looked at me. Well done. So you've had the means to completely subdue the demon all along, yet made us beg you every day. You never respected our human race at all. Today, I'm going to act as heaven's enforcer and kill you, this selfish and self-serving beast. Chapter 8. I couldn't help but sigh. Since becoming a mother, I truly have tempered my temper quite a bit. If I can resolve this peacefully, I'll do so peacefully. I never expected these people to become increasingly bold, actually thinking I wouldn't dare to act, uphold heavenly justice. I gather the golden true fire in my hand. Is it really fitting for the three of you to speak such words? The three ancestral elders exchanged a glance and simultaneously launched their attack at me. Mother, be careful, little Phoenix called out anxiously. I smiled reassuringly, then unleashed a surge of powerful spiritual energy, instantly flinging the three of them into the air. They crashed heavily onto the ground and were unable to move. I didn't pay them any more attention and once again grabbed Lin Qingshuang. Now, shall I break the pact, or do you want me to do it for you? Lin Qingshuang still tried to hold her ground. Don't dream about it. Once a blood pact is formed, it can't be undone. Is that so? I concentrated spiritual energy at my fingertip. Do you really think that someone who's lived for 10,000 years can't break such a trivial blood pact? Spiritual energy surged into Lin Qingshuang's body, and she instantly let out a bone-chilling scream, her body trembling violently. I summoned the Phoenix True Fire within my body, slowly burning away the bond. Lin Qingshuang's face grew paler and paler, her scream growing louder and louder. No, don't, my contract, Lin. Qingshuang struggled, trying to push me away, but I held her neck tightly, leaving her completely unable to move. With a soft sound, the blood pact was finally completely severed. Lin Qingshuang collapsed onto the ground, as if all her strength had been drained. The elders and ancestors of the Yunxiao sect stared in horror, their eyes nearly bursting with rage. The lead elder clutched his chest and pointed at me, shouting fiercely, Qing Shuang is the only one who can completely resolve the demonic energy. You injured her. By doing so, you're harming the entire cultivation world. You vicious divine beast, for the sake of your own daughter, you don't care about the lives of people around the world. Quickly treat Qing Shuang's injuries. The comments exploded. The plot has completely fallen apart. Without the main female character, how can the demonic aura be resolved? The cultivation world is doomed, to suppress the demonic energy. Fengyao Divine Lord had to sacrifice his divine body in the end. Fengyao is now doing this. She's heading straight to her death, the demonic energy can only be resolved once the female lead ascends to the higher realm and primordial energy flows back down. I looked at the chat barrage, and suddenly everything became clear in my mind. It turned out that Lin Qingshuang's confidence entirely stemmed from this so-called storyline. Chapter 9. I looked down at Lin Qingshuang lying on the ground, and once again gathered the golden true fire at my fingertip. Since she's a key figure in the plot, I'll deliberately break this storyline. But just as I was about to act and eliminate this threat once and for all, an invisible force suddenly wrapped around my fingertip. The power was cold and rigid, preventing me from moving forward even an inch. Moreover, I felt another force forcefully pulling at my consciousness, as if trying to drag me back into the demon suppression abyss, restoring everything to its proper course. Lin Qingshuang sensed the power instantly and snapped awake. She scrambled to her feet, pointing at me and laughing maniacally. I knew it. This is a world from a book. You're all NPCs, bound to follow the script. You think you can kill me? Impossible. She casually patted the dust off her clothes, her eyes filled with provocation. You think you can break the plot? Don't dream about it. Everything in this world is predetermined. You are fated to bow before me for the sake of your daughter. I'll kill your daughter soon. I'll shatter her soul and turn her into a puppet, forcing you to watch helplessly as she becomes a mindless tool. Lin Qingshuang leaned close to my face, her voice venomous. What good does it do you to know everything now? In the end, you'll still become my dog for her. When that day comes, I'll drain your essence every day, pluck your feathers, and make you wish you were dead. Comments flooded the screen, filled with smugness. That's right, the plot unfolds exactly like this. Fengyao Divine Lord will ultimately surrender, get up, heroine, follow the script, kill the little phoenix and force Fengyao Divine Lord to submit, Fengyao Divine Lord is grossly overestimating himself, trying to rebel against the plot, simply asking for death. I let out a cold laugh. Are you celebrating too early? I transformed into a phoenix, my golden body enveloping the entire Lanyu Peak. A primordial aura, originating from the essence of heaven and earth, emanated from me. I am the first phoenix born of heaven and earth. Put simply, I am a child of this world's divine law, I said, staring at Lin Qingshuang, my voice distinct and clear. The plot you speak of is merely the result of some foreign force forcefully intruding into this world, including these chat messages flashing before my eyes. It's the same. Feeling the growing connection within me to the heavenly Tao, I continued, since I can sense this foreign force, it means the heavenly Tao has sensed it too. Do you think Heaven's way would allow an external force to destroy the world it nurtured with its own hands? The chat went silent instantly. After a few seconds, someone finally typed, "What do you mean? Can the Phoenix see us? Why is the plot getting more and more ridiculous?" I remember in the original novel, the female lead was a book crosser who used her god's eye view to snatch opportunities from the innocent, pure-hearted girl. How come she's now being brutally killed by the Fengyao Immortal Lord? I've sensed something was off all along. Lin Qingshuang's behavior is clearly that of a wicked secondary female character. Why do you insist she's a Black Lotus? Haha. I said the female lead went too far, and you guys say I don't have a mother. Lin Qingshuang's expression changed instantly. She forced a composed tone as she called out, "You're lying, everything must follow the script, don't think you can fool me." But just as she finished speaking, the sky suddenly darkened and the winds howled. The originally clear sky was instantly split in two by dark clouds and golden light. Two powerful forces clashed violently in the air, causing the entire cultivation realm to tremble. I could clearly feel that the heavenly Tao was resisting that foreign force, Cultivators on the ground were terrified and fell to their knees, too afraid to raise their heads. Lin Qingshuang's body began to tremble. Her voice filled with fear. It can't be. How could the plot change? How could this happen? The black clouds, under the of golden light, gradually dissipated the stream of comments. Before my eyes began to flicker and vanish, finally disappearing completely. I know, the heavenly Tao has won. Lin Qingshuang has completely collapsed on the ground, her eyes vacant, still mumbling, "The plot, my plot." Chapter 10, Heavenly Tao restored to righteousness, all constraints broken. I walked up to Lin Qingshuang. She looked up at me, her eyes filled with fear and resentment. "You can't kill me, I know everything. If I die, the world will end. Without you, the world would be better." My voice was calm. "What you call the plot is nothing but a fetter imposed by external forces. Today, the Tao has been restored to righteousness. People like you, who seize others' opportunities and slaughter living beings, should never have existed." I gathered spiritual energy in my hands. Lin Qingshuang was terrified, backing away frantically while screaming at the elders. "Grand elders, save me. I can ascend to immortality. I can subdue demons. You can't let her kill me." The elders of the Yunxiao sect wanted to step forward, but were paralyzed with fear by the heaven-defying aura radiating from me. The senior elder in front knelt on the ground, pleading desperately, "Divine Lord Fengyao, please spare her life. If she dies, no one will be able to control the demonic energy anymore. I beg you, for the sake of the entire human race, give her a chance, opportunity." I sneered. "When she stole my daughter, tortured her with the heart-eating thunder, and desecrated the sacred body of Xuanwu, did she ever think of giving anyone else a chance? While you were protecting her, didn't you think about the safety of the entire human race?" I paid no more attention to the human cultivator's pleas, and with a flick of my fingertip, true flame surged instantly into Lin Qingshuang's body. "Ah!" She let out a blood-curdling scream as her body was slowly reduced to ashes by the true flames. Her soul tried to flee, but was firmly trapped by the golden true fire, and in the end, it too vanished completely into the air. Having dealt with Lin Qingshuang, I turned around, picked up the little phoenix, and gently treated her wounds. "Good girl, it's all over now. No one will ever hurt you again." The little phoenix nestled into my arms, sobbing and nodding. "Mother, I never want to leave you again." I glanced at Bai Jiro beside me. From the very beginning, she hadn't been blinded by the so-called laws of cultivation, but instead acted with kindness to stop Lin Qingshuang's wickedness. I knew she was truly the destined one of this world, the one the heavens themselves had chosen as their inheritor. "Bai Jiro," I said to her, "would you be willing to go with me? I'll teach you cultivation, help you grow, and make you a strong guardian capable of truly protecting the human race." Bai Jiro was momentarily stunned, then nodded vigorously. "I want to, Lady Fengyao. I wish to learn from you, and one day become like you, suppressing demonic energies and living up to the expectations of heaven's will." I walked away from the Yunxiao sect with Xiao Fenghuang and Bai Jiru. The ancestral elders were still crying behind me, begging me to stay and help suppress the demonic aura, but I didn't even turn back. They should have accepted the consequences when they chose to protect Lin Qingshuang. As for this demonic energy, let them figure it out on their own from now on. For the next 100 years, I lived in seclusion on Phoenix Mountain with little Phoenix, carefully guiding Bai Jiru in her cultivation. She possessed extraordinary talent and a compassionate heart, and her cultivation advanced rapidly. After a century, she successfully passed through the heavens' tribulation and ascended to the upper realm. With her ascension, the spiritual energy from the upper realm began to surge downward, depriving the demon-sealing abyss of the nourishment it needed to sustain its evil aura, which gradually came under complete control. Little Phoenix gazed at the radiant light ascending into the sky, reluctantly resting on me with a touch of sorrow. "Mommy, I want to see Sister Jiro. She's ascended, will we never see her again?" I smiled warmly, spreading my vast phoenix divine form to shelter the little phoenix within my embrace. "Dear child, we are divine beings born of heaven and earth. There's no need to follow the path of ascension. If you wish to go to the upper realms, Mommy will take you myself." The golden phoenix spirit body surged straight Into the heavens, piercing through the clouds and flying toward the upper realm. Little Phoenix curled up on my back, gazing down at the cultivation world growing smaller below, and excitedly cried out, "Mother, what's the upper realm like? Will Sister Giro be thrilled to see me?" "You'll see when we get there," I replied gently, my heart full of contentment.